Greetings children. This lesson is for class 12 Cbse students. A Thing of Beauty, written by John Keats. What we are going to study from this video lesson is some important sections, especially some difficult sections from this poem, A Thing of Beauty, written by John Keats. This is the poem. A thing of beauty is joy forever, its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a boyer quiet. So this boyer, we can check what it is. Boyer here means a peaceful, quiet place under the shade of a tree. That is called a boyer. So a boyer quiet. Then look at this line. Are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth? Are we wreathing? This is an example for inversion because the words are inverted here. We are wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth. Wreathing here means garlanding or adorning. The process of making a garland. That is a wreathing. Flowery band means a garland. Making a garland. So, are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth? Bind here means a strong grip or a tie, or we are fastened with the nature. So, a thing of beauty makes an unending bond between humans and the nature. That is what the poet says here. We are wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth. So we and nature creates an unbreakable bond, and that bond is created with a flowery band, a garland, such a soft, such a sweet relationship that humans creates with nature. That is the meaning of the line, are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth? Look at the line, are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth? The beautiful things on the earth brings the much required zeal in our lives. Therefore, the objects of beauty creates in us a bridge of attachment to the earth with a flowery band. So that attachment that we have created with the earth, so it bridges an attachment with the earth, and that attachment is created with a flowery band. So all the beautiful things on the earth bring the much required zeal in our lives. So that is the life force energy behind us. The beautiful things on earth. Let's move on to the next. Spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways, made for our searching, yes, in spite of all. Let us check the meaning of these four lines, because many students face difficulty to understand these four lines. Spite of despondence. Spite of here means in spite of. Despondence means the state of being downcast. Downcast means melancholic. Melancholic means sad, gloomy, dejected, or we can simply say that unhappy. Spite of despondence. So in spite of this unhappiness, in spite of our life is dejected, in spite of our life is gloomy, some sort of beautiful things that help us to lead a life. Of the inhuman dearth of noble natures. Look at inhuman means. Inhuman means without any compassion. That is inhuman. Dearth. Dearth means scarcity or short supply or shortage. And noble natures here means men of noble nature or qualities. So of the inhuman dearth of noble natures means the world lacks men of good characters or noble qualities. Or else we can explain it as there are few people who are noble in character. In a third way we can explain it as it indirectly suggests that most of the people are self-centered and pursue evil ways. So these are the interpretations for the line of the inhuman dearth of noble natures. The inhuman dearth of noble natures, which simply means the absence of noble qualities in humans. Now, of the gloomy days of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways. Gloomy days here means dark and depressing days, the dark episodes in human history. That is the gloomy days. Unhealthy and over-darkened ways. The evil history of human, the stained or tainted days in our history. It can be interpreted like that, or the trials and tribulations in our life and the dishonest and unfair means people adopt to achieve their goals. This is the meaning of the unhealthy and over-darkened ways, of the gloomy days of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways. Made for our searching, yes, in spite of all. Made for our searching here means a thing of beauty is made for our searching. These things of beauties in nature are made for our own searching. Search for something other than the misery. Search for a solace. Search for a source of happy existence or survival. A thing of beauty is an eternal source of our survival. So this is the simple meaning the poem tells us here. A thing of beauty is an eternal source of our survival. Look at this line. Moves away the pall from our dark spirits. Moves away means removes. The pall here means the cloud of gloom that covers us, the sadness that covers us. Dark spirit means having no light or gloomy or dismal soul of humans that moves away the pall from our dark spirits. So a thing of beauty that removes the cloudy, the gloomy thing that covers our minds. When gloom or sadness that comes in our mind, we don't have any light in it. It remains gloomy or dismal soul of humans, that is the dark spirits. So a thing of beauty can move away the sadness from our dark spirit, the dismal soul of humans. Even a dismal soul of human can come back to happiness after watching a beautiful thing. That is the meaning of this line. Clear rills that for themselves a cooling cover to make against the hot season. Look at the clear rills that streams down here. Clear rills means clear and small streams of water. And cooling cover means a cooling conceal, a cooling cover. The cooling cover that this stream itself makes for its against the hot season. So this is another beautiful sight that the poet mentioned in the poem. The mid-forest brake rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. The poet here hails the beauty of nature. He is a worshipper of beauty. Each and every object in nature instills the tremor of beauty in him. So he says the mid-forest brake, another beautiful thing in nature. One such beautiful bounty of nature is the mid-forest brake that is rich with lovely fragrant musk roses. Look at this picture. The lovely fragrant musk roses in the middle of the forest. That is a beautiful sight, he mentions. The noticeable thing is, in spite of the summer heat, they withstand and bloom as an eternal beauty. So in spite of the summer sun, summer heat, these flowers, these fragrant musk roses can withstand it, and it becomes a source of eternal beauty. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. Grandeur here means the splendor, the majesty, the greatness. Dooms here means the death or destiny, or we can say that an undesirable fate. So the grandeur of the dooms here means the splendor, the greatness, the majesty of the dead ancestors we have imagined for the mighty dead. The grandeur of the dooms here means the glory and magnificence. Magnificence means splendor, that the dead are entitled. That is the grandeur of the dooms. The dooms is also, when we consider it religiously, the day of judgment after the death. That is also called doomsday. Doomsday. Doomsday judgment. Because we are supposed to born on earth to do certain commitments, and God has sent us for that purpose. On the day of our death, the God will judge our deeds. So that day is called doomsday. Such a meaning also can be interpreted from the dooms, the grandeur of the dooms, which means people doing noble deeds in their lifetime. They become the mighty dead, the great ancestors. The mighty dead. Mighty dead here means the dead legends and martyrs. The ancestors who were successful in life, those who lived for humanity. Such people are called the mighty dead. Our ancestors who were successful in life because they fulfilled their aim of life. They lived for humanity. Such people are called the mighty dead. They are also a source of beauty. We have imagined for the mighty dead. The phrase signifies that beauty cannot only be seen in living things, but its essence can also be seen in the dead or the doomed things, like the memorials created in the honor of dead legends and martyrs. So this is why the poet used "we have imagined for the mighty dead." So the poet indirectly suggests us that we can find beauty not only in living things, but also in the dead or the doomed things. Especially, we created several memorials for this mighty dead. Perhaps their monuments or stories about them. They are also become a thing of beauty. All lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us heaven's brink. So let us check the first line. All lovely tales that we have heard or read. The things of beauty mentioned in the above lines are the powerful stories of our ancestors that we have heard and read, and also the grand glory we have imagined for those who have died nobly. So these are also things of beauty. John Keats mentions in his poem, all the lovely tales. It can be taken as independent line, or we can connect this line with the previous line, with the mighty dead. The stories that we have heard about or read about the mighty dead, they also become a great source of beauty for humans. Or all the stories that we have heard or read also become a source of beauty, as according to John Keats. An endless fountain of immortal drink. So a thing of beauty is an endless fountain. Endless fountain here means an eternal stream from the heaven, an unending stream from the abode of God, that is heaven. And it brings down immortal drink. Immortal drink means the nectar, the amrut, that brings from heaven. So a thing of beauty is an endless source of solace. So a thing of beauty is an endless source of existence for humans. It's gives him an immortal drink, pouring unto us from heaven's brink. Pouring unto here means coming down. Coming down. Heaven's brink means from the heaven's edge. Brink means edge. Keats considers nature's beauty as an endless fountain of immortal drink. He calls this drink immortal as the pleasure and delight given by it never passes into nothingness. It only increases with time. It is the nectar of life force. That is what the poet wants to tell us. It is the nectar of life force. These are some of the difficult lines from A Thing of Beauty. For the complete description, you subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Don't forget to share this with your friends. Thank you for watching till the end.